What's going on, people? Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing well this afternoon. Today is Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for me to predict this weekend's Premier League predictions for Gameweek 28. But not only that, I'll be also predicting this weekend's FA Cup quarter finals. Yes, there's a Premier League and the FA Cup quarter finals this weekend. So the teams that are not going to be playing in the Premier League are Manchester City, Man United, Brighton, and Fulham. Those are the only teams because they'll be playing in the FA Cup. So when the international break is over, they have to wait to see when these teams face each other for the game in hand. So Man United got a couple of games in hand. So will Man City, Brighton, and Fulham. So there you go. So the Premier League needs to sort something out from now until the end of the season, so that so that these two can face each other before the final day, which is on the 29th of May this year. So we should see what the Premier League has to offer this one. All right, so I'll be going through my Premier League predictions and my FA Cup quarter-final predictions in this video. So don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Any other series I've done this so far this season. If you are new, hit the subscribe button below, hit the bell notification so that you never miss any of my YouTube content, and you guys also you guys can be able to see what and when I upload my videos and live watch alongs and all that stuff. And make sure you click the share button so that you guys are welcome to come along and give your predictions in the comments down below, and I'll have time to react to them if I'm not that busy. So make sure you guys do that. So without further ado, let me first of all do my Premier predictions for Game Week 28 before I predict the FA Cup quarter-final predictions. Alright, so the first game is later on today, and it's Newcastle United versus Nottingham Forest. Now, of course, Nottingham Forest lost their game against Tottenham away from home, whereas for Newcastle, after after going 5 games without a win in the Premier League, they have finally beaten Wolverhampton Wanderers at their ground. So well done to Newcastle. So now they're close to the top four now. But do I see Newcastle finishing in the top four? No. So we shall wait and see. The only way I can see that happening is that they keep on winning and Tottenham keep on losing. But yeah, Tottenham got a game against Southampton, which I don't think they'll lose. So for me, I don't see Newcastle finishing in the top four. They'll definitely finish in Europe. I'll be very surprised if they don't, but I see them finishing the Europa League rather than the Champions League, if you know what I mean. So there you go. So this game is later on today at 8 p.m. kickoff, and it's at the City Ground. Now, of course, Newcastle, I expect this to be a really tough game because when Liverpool went there, they've lost. When Tottenham went there, they've won. But in the Carabao Cup, they've lost. When Man City went there, they drew 1-1. When I think Man United, I don't think Man United went there at the City Ground just yet, but yeah. And when Chelsea went there, they've tuned. So Nottingham Forest can handle some big teams, you know. So I expect this to be a really tough game for Newcastle. It's good that they beat Wolves, but the big question is, can they keep this winning one continue? Because the only way for them to finish in the Champions League is to continue that winning one and make sure that Tottenham keep dropping points. But since it's at the City Ground, I expect it to be a really tough game for Newcastle, a really tough game. So for this game later on today, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Nottingham Forest win. I feel like I would have thought that they would beat Tottenham, but they have a really poor game. But since this at the City Ground and since big teams couldn't have is and it's going to the City Ground, it's a tough place to go to. I expect this to be a really tough game for Newcastle. If they can prove we won that they can keep this winning one, then maybe they will definitely finish in the top four. But if not, then I'd see them finishing the Europa League. It's either fifth or sixth. I predict them to finish in fifth, above Liverpool, but not finish in the top four. So that was my overall prediction. So there you go. So yeah, Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle United later on today. My prediction is a Nottingham Forest win of 2-0. I feel like oh, that Burnley player. Ooh, let me check. And let me see who will score for Nottingham Forest for tonight. Let's have a look. I feel like Brendan Johnson will score and maybe Chris Wood will score. So yeah, those are gonna be the goal scorers for that game later on tonight. So yeah, 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. Now, um, so yeah, so there's no 12:30 p.m. kickoff because, like I said, there's an FA Cup. So since Fulham are in the quarterfinals, they're supposed to be facing Liverpool, but instead they'll be facing Manchester United. So there's no 12:30 p.m. kickoff. So I cannot predict that one. So there's gonna go straight to 3 p.m. kickoff, and the first one is Aston Villa versus Bournemouth. Now, of course, Aston Villa drew their game against West Ham, whereas for Bournemouth, they've beaten the almighty Liverpool at home 1-0. So well done to them. That puts them out of the relegation zone. And if you look at the table, yeah, Bournemouth are still in 18th because of that West Ham drawing against Aston Villa. So if they want to stay up, they need to make sure they beat Aston Villa and make sure that other teams keep on dropping off. Because look at this, you know. The battle for the survival is on. Like Southampton are 2 points behind, Leeds United are 1 point behind. Whereas for Bournemouth, West Ham, and Leicester City, they're on the same point. So the battle for survival could be happening. Like which out of teams such as Crystal Palace, Wolves, Forest, Everton, Leicester City, who will get relegated, who will survive? That's going to be a big question. So, yeah, I feel like Aston Villa are not in this conversation because they're on 35 points. So I feel like they will stay up. But for Bournemouth, if they lose and the other teams and teams such as Leicester City, West Ham, and other teams win, then they will be in the bottom three. So this battle for survival could be very interesting. So for Aston Villa, they'll be disappointed not to beat West Ham, so that they will be the same points as Chelsea. But I feel like they will beat Bournemouth because it's at Villa Park. When they face Crystal Palace, they beat them 1-0. So it's going to be a difficult game for Aston Villa, but I feel like they will win. So for this game tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m., I'm going to have to go for a Aston Villa win of I'm going to say 2-1 because I feel like Bournemouth will score. I don't think I wanted to go 2-0 Aston Villa, but no, Bournemouth will score because they score against Arsenal, they scored against Liverpool. So I feel like they will lose against Aston Villa, but I think that they will score. I feel like maybe Billy will score for Bournemouth like he did against Arsenal and Liverpool. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Aston Villa win. It's going to be a tight one, but I feel like Aston Villa will get the job done and get the 3 points. So 2-1 to Aston Villa is going to be my prediction on that one. Right. This one is going to be big. Brentford have beaten Southampton with their game in hand on Wednesday. So if they win and Liverpool, Brighton, and Newcastle drop points, they're going to be in either fifth or sixth, depending on the goal difference. So the battle for Europe is interesting too because Newcastle on 44, Liverpool on 42, the same thing for Brighton, and Brentford are on 41. So the battle for the Europe is looking very interesting. And for Leicester City, they're not in good position either because they are now the same points as West Ham and Bournemouth. So Leicester City really need to get that win. But do I see us getting that win against Brentford? No, because Brentford. When is the last time that Brentford ever lost a game? Let me just have a quick look. Let me just have a quick look. Yeah, they lost against Everton. Yeah, that's it. So up until the Everton game, Brentford lost against Everton, but after that they got that win against Southampton and they beat the team in a relegation battle. So I feel like Brentford will do the same one for Leicester City. Like Leicester City, even though they did one against Chelsea, they just lost. In the second half, we were the first half they were better, but the second half Chelsea were much better, and Chelsea got that win. So yeah, and things are turning from bad to worse for Leicester City. Like I would have thought they will stay up, but they keep on losing and losing and losing. So Leicester City need to get that win. But do I see that happening? No. So for me, Brentford are going to get that 2-0 win. I think Ivan Toney will maybe score twice. And big up to Ivan Toney. He got the England call up yesterday. And let's hope that Gareth Southgate starts him, in the game against Italy and Ukraine during the international break. Because he didn't start him in the World Cup. Let's hope he starts him for the for the Ukraine and Italy game, because if we ever needed to penalty taker, it has to be Ivan Toney, because all of the penalty he's taken, he never misses. Yeah, he never misses. I still trust Harry Kane, but not anymore, because that miss against France was really, really disappointing and heartbreaking. So I can never trust Harry Kane. I can only trust Ivan Toney. So I really hope that Gareth Southgate starts him and make sure that he get and he's the main penalty taker. Because if I see Harry Kane taking it, then I see us not qualifying. So Gareth Southgate needs to make the right decisions. But well done to Ivan Toney. He deserves to be in that England crawler. He deserves it. So yeah. So let's hope that Ivan Toney can show Gareth Southgate that he needs to start him. So I feel like he will. Therefore, like he will score the 2 goals, and Brentford will beat Leicester City 2-0 tomorrow at 3 p.m. So that's going to be my prediction on that one: 2-0 to Brentford. Right. The next one, another team who in a bad situation, is Southampton versus Tottenham. Now, of course, Southampton lost against Brentford, like I mentioned, and whereas for Tottenham they beat Nottingham Forest. So yeah, I mean, after they sacked Ralph Hasenhüttl, I thought that the new manager will come in and maybe make Southampton, stay up, but it's not really happening. So to me, I feel like they won't. I feel like Southampton won't get relegated, but if they keep on losing, then I really see that happening. So they need to really beat Tottenham. But do I see that happening? So yeah, no, because I went for a Nottingham Forest win against Tottenham, but that didn't happen. So yeah, for Tottenham, they've even though they got knocked out by AC Milan, they beat Forest 3-1. So yeah, and also Southampton don't have a really good record against Tottenham over the last 4 games. So yeah, for this game tomorrow, I feel like Southampton will score, but I think Tottenham will definitely beat them. So yeah, it's not gonna be like a high scoring game for Tottenham, but I think they'll take a good job. But I'm gonna go for 2-1. I feel like Harry Kane will score, and maybe Oliver Skip will score. So yeah, I feel like James will pass will score the free kick, but I think Harry Kane and maybe Oliver Skip will score for Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah, that's basically it. So I'm gonna have to go for a 2-1 Tottenham win. It's not gonna be like a 3-1 or 4-1 because Southampton are fighting for their lives, but I think they'll get the 3 points. I feel like they will get the job done. So I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Tottenham win on that one tomorrow. All right, the next one, Leeds United, like they were 1 point behind Bournemouth, West Ham, and Leicester City. So yeah, I mean, and they're up against Wolves now. What was Wolves' last game? They've lost against Newcastle. Whereas for Leeds United, what was their last game? What was their last game? They drew against Brighton, so this one is away from home. So if you look at Wolves here, I mean, like they're only like 3 points above the relegation. So if they can beat Wolves, I mean Leeds United, then maybe I can say that Wolves are definitely staying up. So like I said, the Bible survival is looking very interesting. Who stays and who goes? So that's going to be very interesting tomorrow. So I don't know what to predict, because Wolves' last home game. Let me just have a quick look. Yeah, Wolves beat Tottenham 1-0. So for this game tomorrow, I feel like Leeds will try their best to frustrate Wolves, but I just don't see that happening. So for this game tomorrow, I have to go for a Wolves win of 1-0. I feel like Leeds United will frustrate Wolves, but maybe in the 90th minute, maybe while Jimenez will score a late goal. So it's not gonna be like a high scoring game for Wolves, but I feel like just like Tottenham, they'll also get the job done and get the 3 points. So if they win, that means they will be like 6 points clear ahead of the rest of the teams, depending on the other results. So yeah, I feel like we also get the job done. I just see Leeds United. I don't know where the win is coming from. I would have thought that since they sacked Nathan Jones, I would have thought that they will stay up too, but unfortunately, that ain't gonna happen. So yeah, Wolves are gonna get the job done. Unfortunately, it's gonna be 1-0 to them. 1-0 to them. And then after that is Chelsea versus Everton on a Saturday night football. So it's at Stamford Bridge. I'm not going to talk about this too much, but all I'm going to say is that Chelsea, 3 wins and 1 in all competitions, 6 goals, 1 conceded. So Chelsea are starting to progress just a little bit. I'm not going to say Chelsea are back, but things are starting to progress just a little bit. We're starting really well defensively. We're starting to score lots of goals. I mean, in the month of March, we scored only 1 against Leeds, then 2 against Dortmund, then 3 against Leicester City. 1, 2, 3. When we score 4 goals against Everton, it will be interesting. But yeah, at least in the month of March, we're scoring goals and we're having the goal of the month, like the Enzo Fernandez assist to Kai House and May, and also that Kovacic goal was brilliant. So yeah, things are looking good for Chelsea. So for Everton, on the Sean Dice, they've only beaten Brentford, then Leeds, then Arsenal, but they're still in the bottom. They're still in the relegation zone. And Everton, they have a really good record at Stamford Bridge. So that's why I am confident that we'll get the job done against Everton. So can't remember the last time Everton got a win at Stamford Bridge. I just can't remember. So yeah, let's hope we can keep that record there. So for Chelsea against Everton, I'm gonna go for a 2-0. I feel like Kai Havertz will score, and maybe João Felix, if he can take his chances, because he's a good player, but when it comes to chances, he's just failing. So I feel like hopefully João Felix can at least score one of them chances, and proves us that he's Chelsea's best player, because he still is. But if he keeps on wasting chances, then I really am worried that João Felix might be going back to Atletico Madrid. But I want him to stay for Chelsea next season because he's our best player. He really is. So those are going to be my goal scorers for tomorrow at Stamford Bridge. Kai Havertz scoring the first goal, and then João Felix. It's basically that. So 2-0 to Chelsea. And let's hope we can win before the international break. And then there's only one game on Sunday because, like I said, there's FA Cup quarter-final fixtures to be looking at. So since West Ham played on Thursday, they're supposed to be facing Manchester City, but that's not going to happen because City are in the quarterfinal. And like I said, both Brighton and Manchester United are in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. So yeah, so that's why there's only going to get one game, and it's only for 2 p.m. I only thought it's going to be 4:30 p.m., but that's not going to happen. So yeah, there you go. And it's the London Derby. Arsenal face Crystal Palace. Now, before I predict that one, I'm going to be talking about Crystal Palace first because I just woke up and then I just heard the news that Patrick Vieira got sacked. One of my friends told me that. I was like, no, you've got to be joking because that cannot be true. But then I saw it on One Football. I was like, boy, my friend could be right. Then I saw it on BBC Sport, and then I saw it on Sky Sports. And I said to my friend, boy, you are absolutely right. And I'm surprised, I really am surprised. And it will hurt Arsenal fans seeing like this. It will really hurt, just like it hurt me when I heard that Frank Lampard got sacked for Everton. It will hurt Arsenal fans because Patrick Vieira is Arsenal's legend, just like Frank Lampard is Chelsea legend. So I know many my friends who are Arsenal fans will be really gutted. I just DM'd Charlene Smith, and she was gutted. She was gutted that Patrick Vieira got sacked. So yeah, and I know that my other friends such as Pippa Monique, Helen, Jack Johnson, he's gutted. So yeah, I feel Arsenal's pain, just like I felt heartbroken to hear when Frank Lampard got sacked for Everton. So there you go. So yeah, I'm surprised because if you look at Crystal Palace, I know that they haven't won anything in 2023, but look at Crystal Palace. They're only 3 points ahead of their rivals. So, and plus they've only played more. They only play more games than any other team. So listen, like the only way I can see Crystal Palace sacking Patrick Vieira if they're in the bottom three. That's the only way. But they're not. So I really am surprised to see Patrick Vieira getting sacked. So listen, just like Burnley last season, does the owner make a massive mistake from not trusting Patrick Vieira to let them stay up? we should wait and see. So let's see if the owner makes the right decision or the wrong decision. Because to me, if I was a Crystal Palace fan, I'll be frustrated. I'll be saying to you guys, like, I think the owner made the wrong decision, because if we do get relegated, then this is the owner's fault, not Patrick Vieira. So as a Chelsea fan, I want to say good luck to Patrick Vieira in the future. Let's see. Let's hope that that teams will want Patrick Vieira, because listen, last season beat Man City at the Etihad twice, and then didn't allow them to score. Yeah, um, um, at the Selhurst Park. Yeah, got to the semi-finals of the FA Cup against Chelsea, and unfortunately they've lost. So listen, so I don't get, like, Crystal Palace. I mean, Patrick Vieira could be Crystal Palace's best manager. He could be, but now he's sacked. So I feel sorry for the Crystal Palace fans. If you do get relegated, then you have to blame the owner. Just like Burnley fans were playing for the owner for sacking Sean Dyche and not giving the confidence of allowing Burnley to stay up, if you know what I mean. So there you go. So what I've heard is that the Crystal Palace under 21 could take over for the game against Arsenal on Sunday at the Emirates. So yeah, so that is it. So good luck to Crystal Palace for the future. Let's hope he does well for the other teams as well, and see what happens. So yeah, really good to hear that. For Arsenal, yesterday they got knocked out by Sporting CP or Sporting Lisbon, and I didn't expect that to happen. I thought they got over the line maybe at the Emirates, because going to Sporting Lisbon in Portugal ain't that easy. When Tottenham went there, they've lost 2-0. So I thought that if Arsenal can at least get a draw and maybe perhaps win at the Emirates, then I can see them going through to the next round. But honestly, I have to give much credit to Sporting Lisbon, and that goal from um let me just see. That goal from Pedro. Who was it? Let me just get the name out. And that goal from uh, Galvanez. I think it may be Pedro Galvanez. Oh, sorry. Let me just have a quick look. Was it Ped? Yeah, Pedro Galvanez. Honestly, that has got to be one of the best goal of the season contender, because it was 46 yards. The one for the Tottenham during the pandemic was 50 yards, so it's 4 yards short. But listen, like, that is an absolute outrageous goal. When I saw it, I was like, oh my God, what a goal. And like, honestly, and if you look at the faces of Arsenal players all over the ground, they were in shock too. I watched the AUTV, and then there was one guy who was standing up, and he was doing like this. Like, honestly, like, that was so hilarious. I was even shocked too. That's got to be the goal of the season contender. Honestly, that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. So the thing is about Arsenal is that, why is it that they always don't do well in Europe, but they always do well in the FA Cup and all that stuff? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's been like close. It will be like 30 years from next season that Arsenal has never won a European trophy. 30 years, you know. Like Arsenal need to start winning European trophies if they want to be the same conversation as Man United, Liverpool, and Chelsea, because those are the teams that won European trophies, won the Super Cup, and then won the FIFA Club World Cup. Like, also need to start really, really focusing on Europe. You know, whether it's the Europa League or Champions League, they need to focus on that. And I also find that say, oh, I don't care about the Europa League. Like, come on, man. If you want to be in the, if like, imagine, yeah, they're in fifth place and you want to be in the Champions League. The only way to be in the Champions League is to win the Europa League. That is it. So you cannot say, oh, I don't care about the Europa League. If I was a Chelsea fan and I got knocked out and we lost in Europe, and we were in, let's say, like, I mean, like in eighth place, and then we've lost in the final, I'll be gutted and heartbroken, because I wanted Chelsea to be in the Champions League every season, and the only way to do that is to win the Europa League. So if we don't win it, I'll be truly heartbroken. I'll be truly heartbroken and really feel frustrated. So also, fans, yeah, you need to be really upset that your team that lost against Sporting Lisbon, because you haven't won a European trophy for the last 30 years. That's what you need to understand. You really need to understand that. So if you care about the Europa League, then feel frustrated. But if you don't, then I don't know. I don't know where this lose, because see you say that, or you don't care about the, that's losing mentality. Like you don't care about winning in Europe. Like you should do care. Like, come on, man. Like, if I was an Arsenal fan, I hear stuff like that, I would be so frustrated because our fan base, will be absolutely terrible. Like, we need to all stick together, we like you guys have one chance of winning a trophy this season, and if you fail that, then also that if you don't win that's an absolute failure. Because I see you guys finish in the top four, but just imagine if you don't win a trophy. Like honestly, that would be absolutely shocking, because I didn't expect you guys to win a title. But I would have thought you guys will be doing one in the FA Cup, maybe the Carabao Cup, perhaps the Europa League too. But you got knocked out of these competitions, so you need to win this title. Yeah, you need to do it. Do I think you'll still do it? Yes, because if you don't beat Crystal Palace, and since Man City have a game in hand, you are in serious trouble, and the pressure will be on you, Arsenal fans, the players, and the manager. So you need to beat Crystal Palace. So, in order for you to be 8 points clear during the international break. So, for this game on Sunday, I wanted to go for Crystal Palace win, but since it's at the Emirates, I just cannot be doing that. If it's at Selhurst Park, then I would have gone for Crystal Palace win. But since it's at the Emirates, unfortunately, I have to go for an Arsenal win. So for this game tomorrow, I'm gonna go for I'm gonna go for a 3-0 Arsenal win. I feel like they will bounce back. They just need, and the only way to bounce back is just forget about the Europa League and just focus on this game against Crystal Palace, because it's a new manager bound. So I feel like Arsenal will win and get and beat Crystal Palace at the Emirates, because, like I said, it's only Manchester City, Brighton, and Sporting Lisbon are the only teams who beat Arsenal at the Emirates. So there you go. So, but if Crystal Palace do get that win, then things are going to get really worse for Arsenal, especially during the international break, since City have got a game in hand. So Arsenal do need to get that win, and I feel like they will do it on Sunday. So there you go. Right, guys, so that is the end of my Premier predictions. Let me go through them one more time. So later on today, for Forest against Newcastle, I went for a Forest win of 2-0. The next one, I've gone for a slight 2-1 as a massive win against Bournemouth. Then I've gone for a Brentford 2-0 win against Leicester City. Then I've gone for a tight 2-1 Tottenham win against Southampton. Then I've gone for a slight 1-0 Wolves win against Leeds United. Then I've gone for a confident 2-0 Chelsea win against Everton. Then the last one, on Sunday in the Premier League Gameweek 28, for a Arsenal win of 3-0. So that is all my Premier predictions. Now let me go through my FA Cup quarter-final predictions very quickly before I close. So the first one is tomorrow, when Manchester City versus Burnley will be facing each other at the Etihad. Now this one is a really good game, because Vincent Company is going to be back at the Etihad ever since he got retired. So there you go. So this should be a really good game. Of course, Burnley are on top of the league, while for Manchester City they were in second place. So if Burnley can beat Manchester City, then honestly, it will be a shock, but it's not going to be like a complete shock, because Burnley are in first place. So yeah, but Man City, I mean, they destroyed RB Leipzig. Like, RB Leipzig were absolutely dreadful and terrible. They allowed Erling Haaland to break that record. Like, if anyone would have stayed on that pitch, he would have scored 6 goals and maybe a double hat trick. And that would be the first time in football history that a player has done that. Like, RB Leipzig was absolutely terrible. I feel like Burnley, I don't see them conceding 7 goals, but I hope they'll lose on the whimper. Like, if they lose like maybe 1-0 or maybe 2-1, then you should be proud. But if you get beaten like 4-0, 5-0, then honestly, like, that'll be the worst performance on the Vincent Company. And also, Burnley, ever since they lost the game against Sheffield United, they remain unbeaten. So it's going to be a really good game, but I see Man City beating them. So I'm going to go for a slight 2-1 Manchester City win. It's not going to be a high scoring game, because Burnley are good defensively, but Man City got better players than Burnley. So I'm going to score on this slight win of 2-1 against Burnley. Sheffield United against Blackburn, don't know what to predict, so I'm just going to leave that one out. Brighton against Grimsby. Well, of course, well done to Grimsby. Congratulations. I didn't expect them to be in the quarterfinals, but they have done, so well done to them. But I see Brighton absolutely destroying you on Sunday. So I'm going to go for a Brighton win of 4-0. It's gonna be like Brighton will just be all over Grimsby. So no disrespect to Grimsby, but since you guys are in, I think it's maybe League One, and since Brighton win the Premier League, I see Brighton absolutely destroying you. I'm going to go for 4-0 Brighton win on that one. If Grimsby do get into the semi-final, that would be the first time in history they've ever been to a semi-final of a European competition. So I'll be very surprised if Grimsby beat Brighton. But listen, I mean, I'll be very surprised if Brighton don't win that game. But listen, they will definitely do that on Sunday. So I'm going to go for a Brighton win of 4-0. The last and not least is Man United against Fulham. Now, of course, Casemiro got a red card against Southampton when they drew 0-0 on Sunday. So, without Casemiro, Man United's win percentage is going to get down just a little bit. But listen, it's at Old Trafford. And no teams have ever gone to Old Trafford and got that win other than Brighton at the beginning of the season. So, it's at Old Trafford. It was at Fulham. Then it's going to be a frustrating day for Manchester United. But listen, it's at Old Trafford. I see beaten Fulham. If Casemiro didn't get sent off, then I would have gone for Man United win of 3-0. But because he's off, I feel like Man United will concede, but I feel like Man United will go through to the semi-finals and be at Wembley and potentially win another trophy on the Everton Hawk. So I think they will do well against Fulham. So I'm going to go for a slight 2-1 Man United win. I feel like Rashford will score again, maybe Bruno Fernandes for Fulham. I feel like maybe Willian will score for them, and that'll be it. So it's going to be not a high scoring game for Man United, but I think they will get the job done. If they don't beat Fulham, then honestly I don't know if Man United, ever since that 7-0 win against Liverpool, like it'll increase pressure because they beat Will Betis, but they drew against Southampton. Then they beat Will Betis 1-0 just slightly. Can they keep this winning? Can they beat Fulham at home? I really do think they will, but it's going to be a tough one. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 Manchester United win in the FA Cup quarter-final. Alright, so that is it, guys. That is my Premier prediction, Gameweek 28, and my FA Cup quarterfinal predictions for this weekend. So, which games in the Premier League are you looking forward to, or which one in the FA Cup are you looking forward to? The I'm looking forward to is Man City Burnley and also Man United Fulham. For the Premier League, nothing really that much. It's only the Arsenal Crystal Palace that I'm looking forward to. So yeah, that's basically it. So those are the only three games I'm looking forward to this weekend. Arsenal Palace, Man City Burnley, and Man United Fulham. Those are the only games. So there you go. That's it. That's basically it. So let me know in the comments down below what's your predictions, and yeah, for the FA Cup quarterfinal and also for the Premier League this weekend. And if you guys did enjoy this video, click the like button. And if you're new, subscribe below. Big up you guys. Because later today I've got over 200 views for the Champions League quarterfinal draw. So big up yourselves. Keep on subscribing. Keep on liking. Don't forget, tomorrow there's going to be a match preview, a live watch along, and also the match reaction for the Chelsea Everton game at Stamford Bridge. And that'll be our last game before the international break. So make sure you guys don't miss that one. Hopefully Chelsea can continue this winning one and make it 4 wins out of 4, and hopefully keep a clean sheet against Everton. And if you know what I mean. And let's hope we continue this good weather against Everton at Stamford Bridge. So there you go. Right, guys, got to go. Thank you so much for watching this video. And as always, up the shows. Goodbye, God bless, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace. I'm out of here.